Yo, welcome back to another episode of What's Going On, man. We got a breaking news special. Joe Biden forced to step down. Joe Biden forced to step down by elite Dems. Obama and them say, get your ass out of here, boy. Why they do you like that, Biden? Yeah, before we get started, though, let's get into a intro. And I got one just for the perfect for this time. Look, don't you try to run that. You're hoping to scuffle. Don't you try to save that. You're wrong, so fuck it. Now all you know, you say you didn't see it coming. Now all you motherfuckers see they went through something. Whole weak ass president about politics. Now he done fucked around, called his dog a whole lot of shit. And it's the victims in the street. They can't be found. Children losing moms. All this shit going down. He promised all y'all folks that he was gonna run it right. But he ain't promised me shit because the food is white. Now people knew they right because he ruined your life. Found out that food was shite. Being too smooth to try. Time's my little devil. So time is precious. Pray the Lord look upon us and hope he a blessing. I say my prayers, I see you, because I see through the skin. Just take a get before you get like that bitch again. Whoa, boy, it's crazy in the fabric. I'm telling you, got the white folks. Man, they scared the fuck at us. I'm scared the fuck at us. Yes, they got the same. They want to help the bus, but no. Boy, it's crazy in the fabric. I'm got these white folks. Man, they scared the bus, because I was scared the was the battery. Yes. At the same time, they want to help them bust, but you don't know them shit. That shit was scary. They say, man, like coming through. Russian buildings like buildings, like friends, what they tell. All we let them believe, educated by the system, so we underachieve. Now they fucking with the fighting by fortune and fame. Cause when they look up in the mirror, they doing the same damn thing. Now the end is getting clearer, the picture is clear. Now I control the nigga mind through terror and fear. I can't say who's right, I say who's wrong. When I'm around the world, it's just the same old song. The brothers, and them out of here. Got my people praying, like no here. I had my people prison, other had dead. R.I.P. my brother died, blessed and dead. Now picture me going to a rock to feed. I'm ducking landmine, bush rolling the pin, shit. Boy, it's crazy enough that we got them white folks. And they scared the fuck out of us. Sitting at the thing, help the bus with all. Boy, it's crazy enough that we got these white folks. Man, they scared the bus, cause I wasn't scared back, they want to bury us. At the same time, they want to help the bus, but for these last 8 years, at least we held the peace. Held 1 year, he in this bitch, he released the beast. He gave that weak ass speech, and I sounded like he was preached. He made America weak, and now we all up the feet. Don't get the flag, it's what they say. They fuck the flag, fuck like that. They gon' stop us over dropping bombs on our hands. They don't stop it that. We got our churches they flag. They always showing their church how to bomb my hand. But we united under the moonlight, and it's so bad. I've been in it, not the sister, been in it up out the jail. You want my baby, you been fighting for years. I shed a tear so fuck all the motherfuckers cause the shit backfire. All you do is think of myself, make tax higher. And when the fucking war's over, my children back up. Y'all walk into y'all mansions and we back in the projects, bitch. Boy, it's crazy in the fabric. I'm happy got these white folks. And they scared to bust. Cause I was getting back to the battery. Yes, yeah, that's the thing. That was they help the bust, but no. Boy, crazy in the fabric. I'm happy got these white folks. And they scared to bust. Cause I was getting back to the battery. Yes, yeah, that's the thing. That was they help the bust, but no. Yeah, man. White folk got it twisted, man. Go there and kick them out. Have muscles and dirty. Like, fuck them, I ain't fucking them. I ain't fucking your team out war. You know what I'm saying? You look at it, man, they ain't paying the field. How the fuck you got a boy that get killed for that little shit piece of chain? You know, you keep that motherfucker GI, motherfucker, y'all. GI, like, you know, the old race that mother's gonna take the fight up there. Supposed to be together, he's saying that it fall. Yeah, right, motherfuckers. I'm kissing my motherfucking ass, man. I'm tired. Fight y'all, motherfuckers.
Yes, sir. Boy, it's crazy in America, man. You heard them guys. Shout out to them threat boys. So they forcing Biden to step down, man. Why they do that, man, like that? Now, what they gonna do now? All this time, they got 4 months left to decide what the fuck they gonna do. They done forced this man out. He said, goddamn, give it to the vice president. They don't want that bitch in there. Let's check the video out.
Joel Payne, if I could ask you to stand by, because we have now just made contact with Nancy Cortez, who is at the White House. And Nancy, obviously a historic day. As I mentioned here, as soon as we broke in with this breaking news, this is just another twist to what has already been a historic election cycle. And as we were speaking there with Joel Payne, our CBS political contributor, he honed in on how this is a personal sacrifice for President Biden. Do you agree?
I do agree. This is a position, the presidency, that President Biden has been seeking for nearly half a century. But before we get to that, Christine, we do have a major piece of news, which is just moments ago, President Biden answered a question that many of us have been asking, and that was whether he would endorse his vice president to take his place. And in a statement on social media, he now had. He says, my very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it's been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. So this is a major puzzle piece falling into place, Christine. Had he not done that, we would have been heading into several very chaotic weeks, perhaps a contested convention. But this is the president basically turning not only his endorsement over to the vice president, but also his campaign war chest, his campaign operation, basically giving her the most high profile endorsement he can to launch her on what will now be a breakneck 3.5-month campaign for the presidency. This is just something that we really haven't seen in modern times.
I have to imagine
that shit gonna be impossible in 3.5 months, bro. He giving her the bankroll, true enough, but that shit gonna be impossible. You talking about Trump with his momentum, man, surviving, the new 50 Cent, man, come on. Trump got momentum, man. He rolling, man. There's no way you're gonna win. If you want to win with Joe Biden, you definitely ain't gonna win without him. Who can y'all get in 3 months, 3.5 months to goddamn put in the spotlight and campaign, goddamn, and get the people behind them in 3.5 months? Man, that's impossible.
Before he made this endorsement, his inner circle, his team must have said to him, this is our best path forward.
Yes, and there have been a couple of different schools of thought within the party, Christine. There are some who say, let's have some kind of mini election, some sort of mini primary that will end up strengthening whoever comes out of it. And then there.
Yeah, they don't want that bitch. They don't want no Kamala Harris. Joe Biden got them and putting his finger in their goddamn face. He throwing a finger sign in their face, goddamn. They don't want come. They don't want Joe or Kamala. They don't want either one, but shit, Biden goddamn said, fuck y'all gonna force me out. I want my runner to make the run. No, they don't want that bitch in there. They want to replace both. I done seen shit on both. Like, they don't want neither one of them motherfuckers in there.
There's been this other school of thought that says, no, that's a process that's uncontrollable. You can't predict who will end up being the victor. You could end up damaging any number of those who are involved. And these are individuals, some of whom have not been vetted on a national stage. And so this is clearly the safest route, especially given how little time there is to introduce the Democratic nominee to the public, get them comfortable enough with this individual to hopefully enable them to have a strong showing in November. So there's no question that this is the safest path. And the fact that the president did this and endorsed Kamala Harris as the nominee so soon after he announced that he himself would not be seeking the nomination is an indication that despite their public claims that they weren't looking into this at all, that behind the scenes there was a plan for this kind of 1-2 punch for the president to announce he wouldn't seek the nomination and then in very short order to throw his support behind his vice president.
Yeah, the plan was fuck it. Y'all gonna kick me out, fuck it. That was the plan. Y'all playing these whole head game? Let Kamala get that shit. Give it to Kamala. I think they said Joe Biden had like 300 million. But shit, they don't want him. They don't want the bitch. Everything going to Kamala right now. Money, money, money. Campaign, they ramping up on that shit, but they don't want us, so they finna be fighting in public. These folks finna fight in public. Shit getting crazy out here in America, man. Trump pretty much got this shit in the bag. Me personally, I don't give a fuck though. None of that shit bothers me. It wasn't. It was shocking to see like Obama now though. Like that was crazy. Obama now said, "You gotta get your ass out of here, Joe. I know I've endorsed you. I use my goddamn vice president. Joe ass, old nigga." So, like I was telling you right here, they don't want it either. Looking at this article right here, they said, goddamn, Kyle Friday featuring Vice President Kamala Harris and about 300 Democratic donors left many who died in frustration, with one donor declaring it ludicrous shortly before it ended, according to two sources familiar with the cause. That person and two other sources said many donors joined, hoping to get an insider view of how to move forward in wake of President Joe Biden dismissal debate performance and a growing number of Democrats calling for him to drop out of the race. Shit, that's been done already now. They better out here speaking with the donors. So she was already putting us, trying to maneuver herself in place. She was already, she seen the writing on the wall. Yeah, she was already trying to goddamn make her play. And then fucked up with them on this. Seems like, let's say, one source said before Harry joined, there seemed to be an effort to stall, which they said is normal for events with high-ranking officials. But what angered many donors, the source said, was that during the wait, which was about 20 minutes, donors were admonished. Participants of the call were told they needed to lock in and get behind Biden and to not pursue efforts to push out the president. These folks just straight up got gangster with him, man. You gotta go. These donors are not used to getting told what to do. Another source who was on the call and is supportive of Harris being the Democratic nominee pushed back on the donors' feelings of frustration. Person said while many donors thought they were getting to get insightful and confidential information, they immediately went to the media and proved why they shouldn't get it. Meanwhile, Harris spoke at a campaign fundraiser in Provincetown, Massachusetts, praised Biden as one of the most consequential presidents in history. He said, fuck that. Kamala got the best chance. She vice president. She didn't work it. She didn't fuck enough niggas. She raised $2 million. She raised $2 million. Elon Musk said he excited about that shit. Business leaders are reacting to Joe Biden's decision to drop his bid for a second term. They include Elon Musk, Mark Cuban, Microsoft President Brad Smith, and David Sachs. Smith said Biden had devoted his lifetime to public service. Elon said, my smarter friends, including those in the San Francisco Bay Area, who have been lifelong dams, are excited about Trump van. So they had lost all the goddamn big money. He said, goddamn, he gonna spend $45 million a month. He gonna give Trump them $45 million a month. If they don't do their thing. Biden got them, but just that terrible, bro. They like, we don't fuck with this nigga. That nigga JD Vance, goddamn Trump boy. PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel, that's it. He paid for that shit. He paid for that shit. Believe that Trump got a bag for that shit. There's some big money shit going on for real. There's some big money shit going on. You think about it, he kind of is. Elon is goddamn. He gambling like a motherfucker though, cause Trump said he gonna cut the electric shit. Trump said he cutting the electric car shit, nigga, and that go to Elon. That's gonna affect Elon. Trump gonna cut it, you feel me? Let's get some more reactions, man. These folks out here going crazy. They panic.
Race, there was very little indication from people close to him and many people in the campaign that this was what was about to happen, as much as there were reports of Democrats calling on him to do that. And I don't think either of us had any indication. And I'm always a believer you have to share with what you know and what you don't know. We knew there were lots of calls, but we had not been given any official indication, even as of 10 minutes ago, that this decision had been made. I even spoke with Keisha Lance Bottoms earlier this hour and asked her if she had an indication, and she's a senior advisor, and she had not. Just going to say on a personal note, I'm just digesting this myself here because I worked for him for a year and a half, and he's a remarkable person, a remarkable president. He's had such a tremendous presidency where he has overcome the odds and defied people's expectations. People didn't think he could pass an infrastructure bill. They didn't think that he could lead through COVID. They didn't think he could pull countries together. He did all of those things and will continue to do those things, and also is just a deeply good human being. And I'm digesting this myself, so I just wanted to share that.
They folks panicking, man. They shocked. They surprised. Biden stepping down. But you seen the pressure, though. Shit. Nancy Pelosi now said, you gotta go, man. You hurting everybody else. And one that he was on, it ain't that he gonna lose. He making everybody else lose. He making everybody else lose. And that's what's gonna hurt him. So now that they shocked, and surprised and can't believe it, real question is, shit, what they gonna do next? That's the real question. And what's next? And how can they win? How can they win in 3.5 months? They gotta pick somebody and gotta goddamn promote them to win. How can they do that in 3.5 months? That shit seems impossible. Even with goddamn 300 million in a chest, in a treasure chest. How the fuck can they do that? They about to goddamn fight over. They about to fight over goddamn who the nominee gonna be. They about to fight over that. I wonder goddamn if Biden gonna goddamn put some plays together before he leave up at the motherfucker. That's a good question. Cause I know Supreme Court been drilling his ass. Supreme Court been drilling his ass. I wonder he gonna put a play together on their ass before he get up out of there.
President Biden is under mounting pressure to drop his bid for a second term. So far, he's vowed to stay in the race.
I am running and gonna win again.
After the president's disastrous debate performance against Donald Trump, cracks begin to emerge in his party's unity. Democrats are buzzing about who would replace Biden if he were to drop out.
American presidential elections are essentially votes up or down on the strained performance of the White House party. In other words, it's governance, not campaigning, that counts.
Alan Lichtman is a presidential historian.
What the fuck going on? Y'all not getting it? Yo. So what they gonna do now, man? Y'all wasn't getting that? What the fuck going on? My bad.
President Biden is under mounting pressure to drop his bid for a second term. So far, he's vowed to stay in the race.
I am running and gonna win again.
The president's disastrous debate performance against Donald Trump cracked to emerge in his party's unity. Democrats are buzzing who would replace Biden if he were to drop out.
American presidential elections are essentially votes up or down on the strength and performance of the White House party. In other words, it's governance, not campaigning, that counts.
Alan Lichtman is a presidential historian known for the 13 keys to the White House, a forecasting system that has been used to successfully predict 9 of the last 10 elections. To him,
It's still the best bet for Democrats to have Biden stay in the race.
here's why.
The 13 keys to the White House are 13.
Clearly didn't happen. That got canceled immediately. Shit. Obama, Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, them guys say you gotta get the fuck out of here, man. You breaking our shit down, bro. Let's see what he says. So then.
13 true-false questions pertaining primarily to the strength and performance of the White House party, where an answer of true always favors stability. If 6 or more of the keys are false, we have earthquakes. If fewer than 6 are false, we have stability.
While some Democrats ponder a variety of governors and lawmakers who could step in as the nominee, a ticket led by Vice President Kamala Harris remains the most likely alternative.
I think they want that boy Gavin Newsom in there. They want Gavin to run, but Gavin and Kamala both in California. I bet you they probably try to get him to be the running mate. I bet you that's what they're gonna do right there. Harris and Newsom. But they don't want Harris to be the goddamn president. Maybe it might be the other way around. Newsom and Harris. I don't know. She pretending to get the black women vote with that AKA shit. So who knows? They gonna try to play that, keep that in play as well. You gotta remember that. They need that black vote. Black folks ain't enthused about that shit, man. Joe Biden let 10 million motherfuckers over here. 10 million motherfuckers over here to replace the other man. Yeah, who happy about that? These folks want something for they vote now, goddamn. They like nigga break bread like Jesus said. Some reparations or something. Them boy want some money. Like, come on with it. Well, I know she was in Dallas down here. I'm in Dallas. She came down here. She had a event with the AKAs and shit. I think she's supposed to be one of them or whatever. But they don't want her though. So it's gonna be a fight. We gotta see how it's gonna go. But I'm thinking it's gonna be a Harris. Since she got endorsed by Biden, it's gonna be a Harris Newsom, something like that. Newsom Harris Newsom.
As Biden's running mate, Harris would be able to use the money already raised by Biden's campaign committee. The vice president would also have some key endorsements from influential Democratic lawmakers.
I want to support her if he were to step aside.
Now that's OG goddamn Bobby Johnson right there. He gonna goddamn, if he say so, she got goddamn.
However, if Biden were to exit,
she got some leeway. That's for sure. If goddamn it, if she got goddamn Clyburn already on the side, yeah, they gonna run Newsom. They gonna try to run Newsom on that.
the race, 2 of the 13 keys would automatically be in jeopardy. the incumbency key, whether or not the incumbent candidate is the sitting president, and the contest key, which looks at whether there is competition within the incumbent party for the nomination.
Biden running checks off two keys, right? Biden steps aside. They lose, obviously, the incumbency. And it's not at all clear that there wouldn't be a big party fight.
There is one extremely unlikely scenario Lichtman says could help Democrats keep those keys.
Let's assume for a moment that the pressure is so great that Biden has to step aside. Here's what he should do to preserve the keys and keep the Democrats.
We hope he's listening then, because his ass done stuck beside today. Breaking news.
Best chances for election alive. He should say, for the good of the country, I am making the ultimate sacrifice. I am stepping down from the presidency. Then Kamala Harris would become president, and they would secure the incumbency key. And he could then release all of his delegates to Harris to secure the contest key. That's the only situation under which the Democrats would not start out some keys deficit.
With only
Shit, that sounds like the play that he running right there. That sounds like the exact play that he running. He endorsed, he stepped down and he endorsed Kamala. So he turning over his delegates and his money over to her. That sounds like the exact play that they running.
only 4 months left before Election Day, some keys have already been decided. Democrats get a false for party mandate because they lost 9 seats in the House during the 2022 midterm elections. The short-term economy key is marked true because the U.S. is not in a recession.
I don't call the recessions myself. I rely on the National Bureau of Economic Research. You heard a lot of criticism about the economy, about the high inflation. But there are other indicators that are very positive. Strong growth, near record low unemployment.
As for the economy,
it looks at real per capita growth during the term, and it compares it to the average of the previous 2 terms. And that key is solidly in the Democratic favor.
Also in their favor are the policy change and scandal keys.
To turn the scandal key, it has to involve the president himself, not the president's children, not the president's brother or sisters. So the Hunter Biden situation doesn't. The scandal key is dead high. That's why he doesn't win the charisma key, but that's why he does win the scandal key.
Man, that nigga look old as hell, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That nigga old as a motherfucker. That nigga look like shit. Man, that motherfucker goddamn look like great grandpa. Yeah, man, get your ass out of there, bro. Y'all weren't gonna win either way, so it's better. Just a better chance this way than that.
According to Lichtman, Kamala Harris wouldn't get the charisma key either. None of the potential candidates would.
You're talking about the once in a generation, truly inspirational and broadly inspirational candidates. The truth is, we wouldn't disagree much on who they are. Teddy Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, Ronald Reagan, Barack Obama in 2008, not necessarily in 2012. John F. Kennedy. Very few of them over 100 years.
Even Donald Trump, who is known for his showmanship, doesn't make the grade.
You have to be broadly appealing, and Trump only appeals to a narrow base.
That's another key in favor of the Democrats. The remaining 4 have yet to be determined. Whether it's Biden or Harris at the top of the ticket, the administration's handling of the wars in the Middle East and in Ukraine has led to big question marks around the 2 keys related to foreign or military affairs.
If she were to become the candidate, she would be running on the record of the 3.5 years plus of the Biden administration. And all the same keys, as they fall one way or the other, would be the same whether it was Biden, Harris, or anyone else.
Right now, the Democrats are 2 keys down. That means 4 more would need to drop for Trump to become the predicted winner. Questions about Biden's age and mental acuity have thrown his party into crisis, with some Democrats arguing that a younger, more energetic Kamala Harris could have a broader appeal, particularly among women and Black voters. But when it comes to the
That's what they're aiming for right there. Women and black voters. That's the Democratic Party. They need that. They got to have that. That's what they're aiming for right there. But I ain't sure they're going to win it in 3.5 months. Not with $300 million. They need $300 billion. That's going to have to be a strong campaign.
13 keys system, Glickman says that replacing Biden with Harris only puts Democrats at greater risk. Harris is not the only name being discussed. Governors Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan and Gavin Newsom of California are also seen as contenders.
Well, we're in uncharted territory here. There's never been such a situation where after getting more than enough.
I told you they want Newsom. Gavin Newsom, who they want. They like Gavin Newsom. They want some young guys in there. If they don't go Harris, they're going Newsom for sure. I'm telling you, it's gonna be Harris, Newsom, Harris. Bet that.
Enough delegates to get nominated a candidate withdraws.
Still, none of the alternatives bring anything new to the table under the framework of the 13 keys.
Because they're premised on how elections really work as a referendum on how the party holding the White House has fared, the keys have very little to do with the individual candidates.
Yes, sir. So they look like the play they running right there. He stepped down. He endorsed Kamala Harris. He turning over his delegates to her. But this gonna be a wild west. This gonna be a fight. Breaking news. Joe Biden forced down by the Democrats. The Obamas, the Nancy Pelosi, the Chuck Schumers. Say you hurting the ticket, man. Not only you're gonna lose the presidency, you're gonna lose goddamn Senate, the House, everything else. Well, that's it for this episode, man. I'll see y'all on the next joint, man. I'm out.
I got the bass, the 808 slap.
Hey, Red Boy, Mark B. Hi, G the Kid. We on our way. Say we on our way. Been at the bottom too long, so now we on our way. Came from the gutter, posted up all day, but now we on our way. I said we on our way, put in the work so we deserve that pay. Been at the bottom too long, so now we on our way. Came from the gutter, posted up all day, but now we on our way. I said we on our way, put in the work so we deserve that pay. Real project baby, born in the 80s. Daddy didn't rape, you know the streets made. The odds stacked plus I'm black, I'm supposed to fail, but still I prevail. I make it through the hell, create my own heaven. My money still stacking, some niggas still plot, some niggas still jack. Niggas and bitches hate, but I just levitate. My man I elevate. Been at the bottom too long, so now we on our way. Came from the gutter, posted up all day, but now we on our way. I said we on our way, put in the work so we deserve that pay. Been at the bottom too long, so now we on our way. Came from the gutter, posted up all day, but now we on our way. I said we on our way, put in the work so we deserve that pay.
Yeah,
Come from the bottom and I feel like I deserve it. I won't put my trust in nobody, know they ain't worth it. I came a long way, can't believe they envy. Having dreams again, ills will wake up to a 10 speed. They know I'm on the way, boy, I bet it ain't no fun now. Used to be the brokers, but the kid having fun now. Wrap it up and get them gone, in the trenches all alone. Standing on the block all day, I'm trying to get it on. I'm just a product of what I seen. Don't make middle, but I make time every day to chase my dreams. Swear this shit you wouldn't believe. I feel like I deserve it. Man, they get hard sometimes, you know it worth it.
Been at the bottom too long, so now we on our way. Came from the gutter, posted up all day, but now we on our way. I said we on our way, put in the work so we deserve that pay. Been at the bottom too long, so now we on our way. Came from the gutter, posted up all day, but now we on our way. I said we on our way, put in the work so we deserve that pay.
Let me see it.